Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. So President Joe Biden has decided to release from federal prison those who have possessed marijuana from 1992, I believe, to 2022. But the question is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I'm going to give you my opinion after I read this article from Epoch Times. So let's get right into this. President Joe Biden on October 6th announced he has chosen to pardon every person who was convicted of possessing marijuana on a federal level or in the District of Columbia. There are thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result. My pardon will remove this burden, Biden said in a statement. And, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But what is the real motive behind this? We'll get into that. The Biden administration said there are 6,500 people with federal convictions from 1992 to 2021 and thousands of others with convictions under D.C. law. Possession of marijuana is a misdemeanor that can land a person up to 1 year in jail on the first offense, 2 years in jail on the second offense, and 3 years in jail for each subsequent offense. No people, however, are currently in federal prison solely for possession of marijuana, a Biden administration official told reporters on a call. Under federal law, marijuana is classified as a Schedule I drug. Schedule I is the highest classification reserved for drugs that have, quote, a high potential for abuse and for which there is no accepted medical use, according to the Controlled Substance Act. But a growing number of states have decriminalized marijuana. Have decriminalized marijuana possession and other marijuana-related offenses in recent years, and federal officials rarely bring federal charges against people who are violating federal law. Sending people to prison for possessing marijuana has upended too many lives and incarcerated people for conduct that many states no longer prohibit, Biden said. So I wanted to read this real quick. Let's see. Here's one section of the article says, this is an important step forward. Outdated and prejudicial laws criminalizing marijuana usage harm our communities, and I'm glad to see the administration taking action towards a fair justice system, Representative Angie Craig said. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, a Republican, said that he supports reclassifying marijuana, but called Biden's blanket pardon, quote, the most political, cynical abuse of the pardon power in history, noting that the midterm elections are taking place in about a month. The National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws said Biden's move, quote, are long overdue, but that the administration and Congress need to work together to repeal laws related to marijuana. And that's the end of that article there. But here's the deal. And since this is a good thing, okay, because in my personal opinion, I feel that people that have possessed marijuana since 1992, it's not that serious of a drug that's willing to, would cause as much damage as fentanyl and so forth. I get it. I get it. But here's my thing on that before I get into what I think Biden's move is, which the Republican senator already stated is, but I'm going to give my elaboration on that. Is that I have always been against legalizing drugs in any way. Now, the article states that certain states, okay, are decriminalizing the use, the possession and usage of marijuana. Clearly, they must have done it here in Ohio, and if not Ohio, except the city of Cleveland, I guess, because I mean, everywhere I turn, I'm smelling this stuff, smelling marijuana. People are smoking marijuana in front of Tower City. Employees are smoking marijuana. I'm on my way to work. I get in the parking garage, and I see these so-called professionals just puffing away, sitting on the bench, puffing away on marijuana, and it's aggravating to me, to smell that. I'm against any form of legalizing any kind of drugs, not because marijuana is the least severe. People say that all the time. That's the argument. Well, marijuana is the least severe. Woo, 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 woo. That's not my reasoning for being against legalizing it. I'm against legalizing marijuana or any form of drug is because I believe, as I said in the previous video some time ago, that the legalization of marijuana is going to open the door for the legalization of other more extreme drugs. But they got to start somewhere. And I believe, in my personal opinion, based on my readings and my studies down through the years, that the purpose is to get everybody drugged up. Just like LSD, the purpose of LSD back in the 1960s, which was pushed by people like Ken Kinsey, and according to the writings of Paul McGuire, the researcher Paul McGuire, he states, because he came up during the counterculture revolution in the 1960s, and he stated that the LSD push back in the 1960s was a planned push to get young people and people all over this country hooked on drugs. Not only was it LSD, another one he mentioned was mescaline, which he stated was pushed by a British elite by the name of Aldous Huxley in the 1930s. So based on his research and other research that I've read over the last few years about, drugs and so forth, the legalization of marijuana, I believe, would be the door to open up all these other extreme drugs. Excuse me. So I'm against any legalization of drugs. But what Biden is doing here is good. But let me close the video on this. As that senator, Republican senator said, this is all, it's just a political move. Midterms are coming. He got to do something that's nice. I don't think it's sincere at all. If you're sincere with what you believe in, you should be that way throughout your campaign. From the day you started campaigning to the day you end. That's whether you're Republican or Democrat. And in this sense, I believe he's only doing this because of the midterms. So now he got to do something to make himself look good. I don't trust it at all. But that's just my view on it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. God bless you all and see you again.